4623. Reach out on the text line. It's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
Hour 2. Hi, how you doing? Back to Kai's Corner. If you missed anything there with Ethan and Ira, you can always find that podcasted in podcast form. I just want to give a big shout out to Sean, man. Sean is the producer of all producers. Of course, Sean Stanley with me every single day. You can find Sean on Twitter at Sean Stanley 11. That's at Sean _Stanley 11. Just making sure. Listen, all right? I correct myself. Don't worry about it. I got you. But yeah, shout out to Sean, the producer of all producers, making sure that everything works and goes to plan no matter what happens here. And of course, I appreciate, as well as everyone here appreciates Sean so much. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, how you doing? We're back and going. Glad that you could come back with us, especially in that little break and everything like that. If you missed anything of the first hour, the first part of that, you can go over and look at that. We are, ladies and gentlemen, 28 days away from draft day. We have made it. 28 days. We are exactly 4 weeks. Exactly a month. Nice. We are exactly 4 weeks from draft day. It is super, oh my God, more than exciting. I'm so ready to get this over with. Everything. I mean, it's going to be bad because then we'll get into a little bit of a slow spell where we'll be debating which shortstop or second baseman for the Marlins should be starting and all that other stuff. And then that will be, God, that'll be a horrible situation. But we're still here. We're still going. We're out and about. So we have our polls for today. I want to just, for anyone that missed them or might have not been able to vote on them, again, if you go on YouTube, I will be copying and pasting the link so you can go and you can find it, so you can get it and watch it there and be able to have all your fun, fantastic times and be able to vote in them. So, on the polls, at Samurai Radio, you can find them at Samurai, that's 2 I's in Samurai Radio, also on Onside Radio's Twitter. The first one is, which is more annoying, people who cut in front of you on the highway and go slow, or 18-wheelers that think they're sedans. No change in that. That first option still in the lead at 66.2%, with 33.8% following that. A little bit of changes in some of the voting. You got a little more things coming through, but it seems like, at least in the second poll of how ready are you for the NFL media to stop talking about the Dolphins on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is still in the lead by far at a 50.7, but surprisingly, 1 through 3 has had a little bit of a jump. They were down very bad. Now they're at 21.3%, which is interesting. Seeming like some people really enjoy the NFL national media talking about the Dolphins. So here we are. And then in our third one is, how long have you been a fan of your favorite South Florida team? 20 plus years is just taking that completely away. Not even going to bother mentioning anything else. They're just running away with it. And then the same thing for our Frappuccinos and frozen coffee, the same thing. NAFAM is pretty much taking that one away as well. If you haven't already, you can go down and vote in those and have your voice be heard, especially here on YouTube in the YouTube comments. You know, I love interacting with you guys and girls who are watching all the time. So you guys can come and leave a comment, anything you might have to say, any questions, we will get to them. Even if I'm in the middle of a rant, I'll look over and I'll have it here. If you ever see me on YouTube and I'm looking here, it's because I got Twitter and everything. I just want to move it a little bit. I have Twitter and everything I need on one side, all the YouTube comments on the other side, so that I can get to all of that and make sure that we just we have a good time. When we come into the next segment, and I just want to give a prep for that, we're going to have on Ian Berger, who is also known as Big E, also known as Ian693 on Twitter. He is the Miami Dolphins Fan of the Year. We'll have him on to talk to him about his Miami Dolphins fandom, how he kind of came to be in terms of starting to go on Twitter and trying to be some center of positivity and kind of the fan base that he's grown, as well as his cancer challenge that he has for the Dolphins Cancer Challenge Walk. So we'll talk to him about that as well. I want to reference the part of the poll today with the how ready are you for the NFL media to stop talking about the Dolphins. If I could vote in my own poll and just smash a vote the way I want it to be, 10 would just be taking off beyond 50.7. It would just have so many votes that the other ones don't even matter anymore. I truthfully I'm ready. I want them to talk about what Trevor Lawrence is going to do for the Jaguars, why the Falcons picked said player over said player, how is Trey Lance going to change said franchise, Zach Wilson, is he the answer for the Jets? Why did the Jets not pick Zach Wilson and stick Sam Darnold? I'm ready for so many other things, and for the Dolphins to just be cruising by. Just cruising through, not a lot of conversation, we get into the season, and we're just... we don't hear anything about our beloved team. They can just keep going through, and you know what? Once we start winning, then we can get some hearing in there. Once the team starts winning, we go through and we get by. I'm so ready for that to be over, because it's just every single day there's something different. It's every single day there's something different. Whether it is hyping up Tua, bringing down Tua, hyping up the receiving core, bringing down the receiving core. Offensive line sucks. Offensive line's average. Oh, the offensive line's good. Every single day it's something different. And it's great because it brings up talking points. You have everything that you can possibly dream of to talk about. But it's also bad because we're just sitting here consistently like, okay, but this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Again, I had my confession yesterday, and my little confessional at the end of hour one. And Big O's in studio now, and I don't know if he heard it, but I'm sure he's going to love me repeating it anyways, where I was looking back at some of the film from the past year, and I'm going to be diving into the rest of the games tonight, hopefully, because it's not an April Fool's joke. I am most definitely creating punter film for Michael Pilardi, and it's going to be fantastic, and I'm going to put that out on my Twitter, by the way. But I was going through games, and Juan Cardona hated that I said this yesterday to him as well, is that last year, Jakeem Grant was not as bad in the role that he should be in as I have made him out to be, and I think others have made him out to be, especially when watching back in it. You can see it in the role, in the limited, not Big O. I know Big O said not him. Yeah, he hasn't, and I know he had expressed that to me last week. But I really did sit down and watch it, and it's like you see so many of the narratives that have been getting played out, and even some that you might push yourself, get destroyed instantly. I mean, they all just flutter and go away because you just see certain things. I mean, there are some, okay, we talked a lot about how Chan Gailey was stalling the offense. Some people are saying, oh, he's calling the right plays, or he's doing this, he's doing that. In the Arizona game, and more specifically in the Chargers game, in that one drive, Dolphins are up 14-0. They have a block punt, and they have I believe it was Tua to Jakeem Grant for the touchdown after the Tua to Devontae Parker touchdown was called back. They're driving down the field. It was a Ted Karras bad snap, fumble, Chargers get the football, but there were running plays going to Jordan Howard. For what reason? There were running plays going to all these. It wasn't Jordan Howard. I think it was Savon Ahmed or Myles Gaskin. But there was like running plays that were so useless for no reason. It was like Tua, like in the play game chart, it's like Tua 15-yard completion to Jakeem Grant, Myles Gaskin 1-yard run, Myles Gaskin 1-yard run, Tua incomplete ball, and then of course you had the like it's so frustrating to see, and it's like, okay, that narrative, we can check that off. That's true. That did stall our team. That did stall the team being in positions to make plays. And at the same time, you see these, Tua was, he only had this amount of completions and this and that for these stat box warriors. You look back, Mike Gesicki drops. There have been a couple big ones. There was one play that I watched that I looked at, 2 plays I think that I watched, and I looked at and I said, man, Tua could have done better. One of them, he snapped the ball, starts rolling out to the left. It looks like he's looking for a receiver in the back left of the end zone. He has Adam Shaheen coming off of a block, wide open in the middle of the field at about like the 12-yard line is where they snapped it. He's sitting at about the 10. Wide open. Absolutely wide open. And Tua doesn't look his way. He just goes through the progressions on the left side of the field, doesn't really turn, and he's right in front of him and misses him. In that same drive, however, Tua also threw a high point ball to Devontae. Didn't end up being a touchdown, unfortunately. Gets called back. Then the very next play throws a touchdown to Jakeem Grant. So that one I can live with because of the result. You still look at it and you say, okay, I want him to go through those progressions faster. You still look at it and say, that is a miss. But you can look at it and you're like, all right, this narrative that, like, he was horrible is wrong, and then this narrative that he was great is wrong. Aww. I can't even watch my Mets today. You see what popped up on the screen, Sean? Mets and Nationals game tonight is being postponed because of COVID issues. Dang it. I can't even enjoy opening day and watch my Mets play. I'm going to have to watch the Marlins. Oh, God. Anyways, I won't be watching the Marlins. There's no chance that happens. But you look at that, and I will watch the Marlins, unfortunately. You look at that, and you can see there that he falls into a different category, but there were times where he made really nice reads, times where he had throws that were incomplete. The second throw I will give him, and I believe this was also in the Chargers game, is he, if I remember the play correctly, and I'll try to bring it up during the break so I can correct myself if I'm wrong, gets the ball, he almost gets sacked as he's trying to push forward in the pocket, starts rolling to the right, throws the ball kind of sort of across his body to Jakeem Grant. It's a little bit of a hard throw, and he misses Jakeem by maybe a foot or two. Probably misses him by a yard, maybe. I would say that even that's a little too much. And that's a throw where I'm like, man, that's a tough throw, but I wish we could have that back. I wish we could get that throw back. But at the same time, you see so much that you don't realize. So much that you don't realize. And so I think that I'm so ready for people to get off, and more specifically the NFL media, the national media, getting off of the train of talking about the Dolphins, because I would want them to more fly under the radar, have the guys that we all follow and we all trust to talk about it, go through, watch the film, actually break things down, and make it so that you can actually see what the truth is rather than anything else. Now, it'll be great. I mean, you could go off and talk about everything that Dan Orlovsky said yesterday on the Pat McAfee show about the quarterbacks coming on this year, whether it's Justin Fields, wherever it was. Of course, there was a bunch of outrage around that, and that's great. You can also do what I did last week, and Friday, I believe it was the end of last week, and talk about what Orlovsky said with Tua, and how at the same time he was praising Tua, he had absolutely taken a dump on Tua after Justin Herbert had 3 good games. It all changes, and yes, every narrative is going to change, and even my own narrative of hating Jakeem Grant has changed into, you know what, in his role, he's not that bad.
Good for you.
Big O is so happy about that. Because obviously, everything gets skewed, which is why, again, I say, I want it to stop with some of the national media stuff. I can't wait for it, because some of these narratives that get skewed aren't going to be there, because everything has changed into what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me now, rather than looking at everything how you should. Of course, I fall victim to that. I think everyone falls victim to it every now and then. And you want to be able to look back and see certain things. And you look back and you see, I was looking at this in the wrong way. I was talking about things the wrong way. That you can do fine. But sticking on one point and then coming back and not even admitting any fault and then going to the other point, that's the stuff I hate. I don't really like Dan Orlovsky. I don't really like anybody on ESPN, to be more specific. Nothing against the worldwide leader. I just don't think that their shows right now are entertaining. And I think it causes that issue where it's okay, well, the other day you were doing this, then now this one you're doing this and that. I think it's all a bunch of baloney. Anyways, we'll have on Ian Berger, also known as Big E. He will come on after the break. We'll talk to him about a bunch of stuff, including his Dolphins fandom, and you'll be able to catch that. Over the last 30 years, South Florida fans have always been able to count on one radio show that gives you the brutal honesty you need. Orlando, oh man, how do you say Big O's last name? Al-Ghazari?
Orlando Alzugari.
Alzugari. I always call him either O or Big O. Orlando Alzugari and the Onside Zone, daily from noon to 3 p.m. exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you missed Omar Kelly and the Miami Dolphins report sponsored by EJDconstruction.com today, you missed this.
When we're talking about building it and building things right, like EJD Construction does, when we're talking about building things right, look at what the Dolphins have done with free agency over the past couple of years. Just look at last year's deal. Which contract did you sign last year that was a good contract? That did you feel like you've got value for? Do you feel like the players are going to play the entire duration of their career? You feel like you're not overpaying?
Omar Kelly and the Miami Dolphins report, brought to you by EJD Construction. Count on a company that's an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. EJDconstruction.com.
Enter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Welcome back to Kai's Corner. To reach out to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to Kai's Corner.
All right, we're back here. We're going to have on Ian Berger, also just known as Big E on Twitter. You can follow him if you don't already on Twitter at Ian693. Ian, how are you doing this morning, man? I know you got your second COVID vaccine shot.
Hey, Kai. Yeah, man. I just got back to my office from getting the shot. Very, very, very happy right now.
How's the arm feeling? Any pain yet at all, or no?
Not yet. I remember after the first shot, it took about an hour to 2 hours before I started getting that pain, and I'm expecting it, but I would rather that than anything else, to be honest with you. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I completely understand that, and I know we were talking about it in DMs. I want to ask you, Ian. I know that I've kind of been following you for a while, and you've always been like this positive light on Twitter, where you try to just keep everybody. Where, you know, Dolphins Twitter goes extremely insane, like, and you know, it can get to a wild point, but you always try to bring everyone back and like it doesn't matter what's going on. It's like if you're a Dolphins player and how you and the community you've built around, if you're a Dolphins player in their eyes and your eyes, you're good with me no matter what, and I'll support you even when you go off. Unless you talk crap about us, I will support you. How did that kind of start where you came onto Twitter and just tried to be this positive light?
Honestly, it's hard for me to articulate how it started. I think it's kind of an inherent trait of mine that, when you look at something, you can look at it either from a positive light or from a negative light. And pretty much my entire life, I've always been that type of person that has looked at the positive of everything. And I joined Twitter about 10 years ago. So I think and 10 years ago, the Dolphins, 2008, if you think about, was the last time that we made it to the playoffs or had a home playoff game.
Right.
And I just chose to be a positive person, and it's just kind of grown, and it's really inherently something that I have, that I'm just generally a very positive person, and it's helped me in my life, and my kids love that about me, and my wife, the funniest one, she's always, she says to me, Ian, every year you say this is going to be the year for the Miami Dolphins, and I said, well, one year I'm going to be right, and hopefully that's going to be this year or next year or the year after that,
Yeah, hopefully we get to see it soon, because I feel like we're all kind of in the situation where we're just like, come on, just give us one, just anything, just something to cling on to. Last time that was like 2016 when the Jay Ajayi runs and all that stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And since then it's just kind of been, just bad. But now there is some bright light. Now there's something that the Dolphins can look forward to. What are you expecting out of the team coming into this season?
What I'm expecting is improvement over last season, to be honest with you, Kai, because if you think about where we were 2 seasons ago, we were 5-11. We were truly rebuilding, and then last year we drafted Tua. We had a huge draft of young, talented players. They were just, they didn't have a preseason. They didn't get to mesh. They were thrown into the NFL basically the first week of the season. So we have a lot of really young, talented offensive linemen, some real positive things coming out of the defense. So this season, I'm expecting us to take the next step. Last year was 10-6. I expect us at least at 11 or 12 wins this year. And I don't think that's a lot to ask for, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, we could end up going like 10-7 now with the the new rules, but I think like a 10-7, 11-6 type of thing would work. I know we definitely need to see improvement, and you mentioned the draft last year. One of the things that I talked about in the last segment was the negativity that's been surrounding Tua, especially coming from the negative media. When you saw Tua play last year, what were some positives that you saw, and what were some negatives that you saw?
Well, and I'll start with some of the areas of opportunity, because we saw him playing football for the first time since his major injury. And I think we saw what you would expect from, number one, a rookie quarterback, number two, a rookie quarterback coming and playing football for the first time, since that injury. So I think there was definitely some sluggish moments from him, but I also thought that was to be expected. And we also saw some really great football from him, such as the Arizona Cardinals game. He made some very strong throws. Some of the throws were not caught by the wide receivers, but you could see that he's got the arm talent, and you can see he's got some of that footwork. So I think if you're pro Tua or you're not pro Tua, you don't think he's there, I think we can all agree that this season is going to be an improvement over last season, regardless of which side of the angle you're on. Now, how much does he improve? We'll have to wait and see that. Personally, I think we're going to see him take a huge leap this second year, especially with what he's able to do this offseason, and the fact that he's able to throw to his wide receivers and start really honing in on that, those routes and how long these guys run and their running routes and stuff like that. So I'm very optimistic about what we're going to see from Tua. And here's what I'm telling everybody, especially the people that don't think he's very good and that he's not going to be good. Wait till this season. Let's see what he does this season, and then see what your opinion is after the end of the season.
Yeah, being able to judge off of 2 years, especially considering he came off of such a bad injury, especially for the position. I mean, a hip injury in a position where your hip is needed so much to throw the football and how you throw the football and your form, to come off of that, no off season, and to still even, like, I know I don't believe in QB wins either, but to produce in some sort of fashion, he did a pretty good job, I would like to think. And after this year, look, if he does horrible or is average again this year, then you can start to kind of make that judgment on how you feel about him. I want to ask with the NFL Fan of the Year stuff, Ian. That was something that was huge, especially I know when I saw it, when really all of us on like Dolphins Twitter saw it, it was just like, wow, this is like the person that, you always see the Fans of the Year every single year, but this is someone that's been like our own, someone that we've seen every single day and probably deserves it more than anyone that we've seen in like the Twitter world. How was that feeling? How did it feel to be like the Miami Dolphins Fan of the Year and that whole experience?
The first time that Travis Wingfield told me that I was the Miami Dolphins Fan of the Year, I was truly overwhelmed. I became very emotional because, everybody, there's so many huge fans of the Miami Dolphins, and we show our fandom in different ways, right? We show our fandom through being able to go to games, being able to purchase memorabilia and things from games, the way that we dress, the way that we put tattoos, right, that are Miami Dolphins. I know there's a lot of fans that do that, and I was just truly honored to be the top fan for this year. And I continue to say, I'm not the biggest Dolphins fan out there. I just happen to be the one who got this honor for this year. And next season, there's going to be another Miami Dolphins Fan of the Year. And listen, I'm going to be their number one fan. I'm going to be trying to communicate with that person to say, these are the things that you can do in order to try and get them to be the NFL Fan of the Year, which I do want to see a Miami Dolphins fan get that honor to be the best in the league. So hopefully the one this year or the one in future years will be able to make it to that level. You
were able to go to the Super Bowl this year as well, right? I believe, with you and your daughter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How was that being there in Tampa?
We had a 3-night, 4-day trip. It was, it was so special because I've never been to the Super Bowl. My daughter's never been, obviously. I don't even know anyone who's actually ever been to a Super Bowl. So for us to be there, for us to experience that, especially this year, when there was the pandemic and everything going on, it was really amazing. One of the most memorable moments was, and I know that not a lot of people were able to see this on TV, but they brought us down on the entertainment stage, the 3 finalists for Fan of the Year, and they announced us, and we were on the Jumbotron at the Super Bowl. My daughter got it on video. So that is, the whole thing was special. And again, I would not have been able to do that if it wasn't for the Twitter family, if it wasn't for the people on Twitter who voted for me. And there are some people that are not on Twitter that are not, they may not have ever heard of me before because they're not really on social media, because there is a big group of Dolphins fans that are not on social media, but they found out about me, and a lot of people have supported me this whole time. So I'm just, again, very, very thankful of the process.
Lastly here, I want to ask you about the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. You had made a post about it the other day, and you said you decided to join the Dolphins Challenge Cancer to help raise funds for cancer research. You expressed a story about your mom as well. First of all, the donation, your goal is $7,500. You're at $6,905 right now. Obviously, with the support from Twitter and just everyone, how has that experience been, especially considering, you're able to do this with your story and, of course, the impact with your mom. So how has this been as well, kind of from the support from Twitter and just that extra kind of thing that's like, I'm going to do this and I'm doing it for such a great cause?
I think the best way to describe it is I'm speechless and I'm overwhelmed at the support that I've gotten. I decided a couple of days ago, I was listening to the radio on my way to work, and Nat Moore was talking about the event. He was talking about what it's for, and he said, we have the 5K, because I'm not a bike rider, so I always associated the DCC to the individuals who ride bikes and raise money, but they said, no, there's a 5K. And I said, well, I could do a 5K. That's only 3.1 miles, especially in a beautiful Miami, right, on a Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah.
So I threw it online, and my goal, Kai, was to get $250. And that goal was blown away in like the first half hour that I shared my story on social media. And then I raised my goal to $1,000. And then I just kept raising it because we blew out. I think the first day there was over $3,000 in contributions. And every day I said, well, I'm just going to keep trying to increase the goal then, if I have such great support. And the support from these Miami Dolphins fans has just been amazing. There have been fans from the UK. There have been fans from Canada. There was a fan in Germany that's made donations. And most of these people, Kai, I've never met.
Of course,
But
yeah.
They regard me at such a high level, which I, again, am so appreciative of. And they resonate with my story. And my story is, again, and I'll mention it, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer a little over 2 years ago. I have been extremely fortunate that through the medication and through the treatments that she gets on a monthly basis, she has stayed real steady over the last 2 years. So, I'm fortunate. I know some other people have not been as fortunate. So my thinking was the research that these people do at the University of Miami's Sylvester Cancer Center will hopefully continue to help people like my mom, and will continue to help other people who come down with cancer, which I learned yesterday, I think was the second leading cause of death for individuals in the in the United States for 2020. So I'm hoping that the more research that is done, the more people will be saved and the more people can actually live with this thing. So that's the reason why I got involved. And again, I cannot say how much I appreciate everyone's support. This has just been overwhelming. And I'm walking. My wife and I are going to be walking next Saturday, so we're excited to be able to do this.
That's great, Ian, and of course it's for a great cause. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Again, this is Ian Berger, also known as Big E on Twitter. You can follow him at Ian693 if you're not already. Ian, man, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope tomorrow you don't feel any of those symptoms.
Thanks, Guy. I appreciate it, buddy. Fins up.
Yep, fins up. Thank you so much for Ian for coming on. Coming up, we'll talk about Erling Haaland because he's in conversations apparently with Barcelona and Real Madrid, so we'll talk about that. Catch South Florida Staple every afternoon as Alex Donno hosts the Man of the Match from 3 to 6 p.m. Donno covers everything from football to MMA. Tune into one of the most complete sports shows in the country with the Man of the Match with Alex Donno, 3 to 6 p.m. exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon? Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
If you missed NBA insider Ira Winderman and the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report, you missed this.
Boogie Cousins is the sexy name, but I think they just might as well get someone who is a functional name. They will add another big body. I don't know if it's Boogie, and I'll tell you why, guys. He's been available since February 23rd.
Yeah.
So it's not like 28 other teams haven't had the option as well. That's a little bit concerning to me.
The Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report with NBA insider Ira Winderman, exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new Papadia, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
The Miami Heat looked rough early on, but got it together and escaped Indiana with a 92-87 win. Miami back at it again tonight. They take on the Warriors. Victor Oladipo expected to play. Tip-off at the AAA, 8 p.m. It's opening day for your Miami Marlins. They will take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Their first pitch at 4:10 from Lone Depot Park. And the Florida Panthers, they're back home tonight. They'll take on the Detroit Red Wings, looking for 4th straight win. The puck will drop at 7, and good news coming out of the morning skate. Barkov and Hornqvist both on the ice. This is South Florida's new choice for local sports talk. This is OnSideRadio.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. I want to shout out Papa John's because I had to order a pizza for my mother and my nieces, and I figured, I'll order the pizza at like 11:30, which I did. It won't get there till like 12. Completely wrong. It's going to be there in like a minute, and my mother isn't even at the house. So hey, hopefully I don't get a call from Papa John's. Hopefully they just call the number to get in and just leave it at the door, because that'll be an interesting situation. God. Oh, speaking of, I have a call from Papa John's right now.
You gotta take it. Let's go. Hurry up. Let's do it.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
This is Gregorio from Papa John's Pizza.
Right. Are you in the thing? Are you there right now?
Yeah.
Okay. You're at the building, or are you at the gate?
No, I am at the gate. I am
We're listening to play-by-play of Papa John's in Kai.
Okay. Just
I go by over there. Bye.
wait. Can you leave the pizza at the door, please, for like contactless delivery?
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
And there you have it. Success. The pizza will be left at
Success.
the door.
The pizza
Kai
will be left at the
Chisholm,
door.
Play-by-play of the pizza being left with nobody home. And if
Oh,
anybody's listening that knows where Kai lives, hey, there's a pizza for you.
Oh my God. Dude, Papa John's always takes forever. I figured that would take so long. But hey, there you go, Papa John's. Shout out to the delivery. Papa John's newest commercial there from NorCal fan. There's 2 now. There's Mark NorCal Doll fan Angelo, and there's NorCal Doll fan. Uh-oh. Is there an imposter among us? I have no idea.
Man,
Are they the
Doll
same
fans are everywhere.
Are they the same people? Are they different people? Are they 2 different accounts? We need to know. Anyways, Mark NorCal fan said a shout out to Ian. Ian is awesome. I love talking to him, and I just I know that just from talking to some other people, some people don't like the whole like positive thing, but I really do like it, especially because I'm a very negative person. So to just kind of see the positivity, and it just like it's good, especially because Dolphins Twitter gets so toxic. I feel like the people that don't like that positive interactions, it's just like, oh, NorCal Dolphin. I don't know if that's true, but he said cell phone 2 accounts. Boom. Same person there. Unless I don't know. Same person there. But shout out to NorCal. He said Papa John's newest commercial. Yeah, it's gotta be. That's Papa John. Listen, I was able to pull through, and the pizza is there. And hey, hopefully he leaves it at the right place. Hopefully he does leave it at the door. Contactless delivery. Who knows? Anyways, the main point of what I was going to talk about now, before Papa John's decided to be quick with their delivery, is that Mino Raiola, the agent for Erling Haaland, who is right now one of the, if not the best young stars in all of club soccer. He is just fantastic. And he's a Borussia Dortmund player, which breaks my heart because I don't like Borussia Dortmund as a Bayern Munich fan. But he is just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It just, the things that he does is insane. So Mino Raiola is his agent. And he, along with Erling Haaland's father, Joan Laporta, are meeting, or have met, with Barcelona today. So they met with Barcelona today. And it says, the race will be long as many clubs are involved. This is from Fabrizio Romano, who is the best soccer. He's like the Adam Schefter and the Woj of... You just walk in with a Marlins jersey for real? Tito, come on, man. Anyways. Did you hear the news? You might want to comment on this. Did you hear the news about your guy, Erling Haaland? He's in talks with, or he was in talks with Barcelona today. Mino Raiola and his father were there in Barca. Fabrizio Romano went on to say, and again, this is like the Adam Schefter or the Woj of the soccer world, went on to say that they will talk with other top clubs next week, and Bayern Munich, he specifically listed Bayern Munich, are not in the race for this summer, as the release clause will not be valid for Haaland until July 2022.
So if Barcelona backs up the Brinks truck, which they should.
They're in debt, which is the funniest part. But if
they can get into the conversation, if they feel like there is a window for them to lock in Haaland this summer, and all they need to do is back up the Brinks truck, like I said, which they should. He's there. It's over.
You think for sure?
Oh, 100%. And it makes perfect sense with the timing. They get a younger, better, I don't want to say better because obviously I'm not saying he's a better player than Messi.
Close.
But he's younger, and I would argue to say that he's more physical than Messi in terms of the physicality and what he brings. Like, this is the perfect guy for them to transition from the Messi era, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to make it as cut and dry as, like, Barcelona should do everything to sign him because, like you said, they're in debt. They have the investigations going on. I know that they're kind of going through new ownership as well after Bartomeu left. And they have to make other decisions as well. Right, he got arrested. They have to make other decisions as well. Like, there's a legitimate push for them to get rid of Griezmann because it seems like he's just not a fit with that team.
Just wasted money.
So, I mean, if they don't get this done, I don't want to say it's going to be a while before anybody talented goes to Barcelona, but this is the biggest fish they're going to be involved with.
They'll be relying on Ansu Fati, and there's another one right now. I can't remember his name. He plays in the midfield. Rodri, no. It's not Rodri, the one in Manchester City, but it's like, oh my God. I have to find it. I think it's like Raul something. He plays for, like, he's one of their, like, youth players. He plays in the midfield. It might be Raul. I think his first name starts with an R. And that's the only thing I can remember at the time because he was a Bayern Munich target last season. So the thing is that there's been so much talk, and Fabrizio Romano has talked about it as well on his Twitter and his own podcast where he said, like, Barcelona is in debt and they're probably going to have to sell De Jong. They're probably going to have to sell Griezmann.
Oh, yeah. But
they have to do it.
You do that knowing that the return is Haaland.
Yeah, but that's just like, damn, you went out there and you spent all this money to get these.
Well, they did that themselves, though.
Great players.
Yeah,
and then
I mean, they treated it like it was like, NBA 2K GM mode. Where you just sign the best players in free agency. Like, it doesn't work that way. And that's not to say De Jong isn't a great player. It's not to say that Griezmann is serviceable. I don't know if he's a great player. I think he's a good player. But, like, their approach to building around Messi was, let's not really accentuate his skill. Let's just give him the best guys that want to come here.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out. So now, with the impending dismissal of Messi this summer, because that's over with.
Yeah.
It seems like the most natural move is Haaland.
Well, he's also now in Madrid. So they're talking with Madrid right now. Mino Raiola is meeting with Real Madrid. The plan is clear, and it's been confirmed by Michael Zorc, who is the sports director at BVB. saying, yes, we spoke with Raiola. We made our intentions very clear. They will not sell for less than 150 million euros.
I think he's going to talk with every team and then make his decision. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a conversation with City, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a conversation with Manchester United.
There should be one with United.
There should be, but like
the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer
United has
completely
should have done
situation.
a lot of things, but they haven't.
Because I remember when it was coming out, like right after he had decided to go to Dortmund, and we're gonna break here before we get into the crosstalk with Big O, and we'll answer. I'll get to the YouTube comments, NorCal and Troy. Well, we'll get to that when Big O comes on. I'll reference both of those. Don't think I'm forgetting. But the interesting thing with Erling Haaland, to end this off, is that he was offered to Man United. United screwed it up. He was then offered to Bayern, and Bayern didn't want to buy him because of Lewandowski. Then he decided to go to Dortmund. So it's an interesting situation with Haaland, and now he's going to be one of the most expensive youngsters in the world. Anyways, coming up, we're going to talk with Big O on the crosstalk before his show, The Onside Zone. That'll take you from 12 to 3. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, hello, how you doing? Make sure you subscribe. And if you're listening anywhere else, you're listening to the only locally owned sports station in South Florida. You're listening to OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
If you missed NBA insider Ira Winderman and the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report, you missed this.
He predicted, like, he said the Heat are going to win the East. Do you think people need to control their expectations a little bit?
Yeah, when I saw Jalen say that, I'm like, okay, so Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Victor Oladipo, God bless Pat Riley, or James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, plus now Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge and a nice supporting cast. I mean, don't kid yourself. To me, the Nets are ahead of everyone.
The Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report with NBA insider Ira Winderman, exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day-Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now, it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Welcome back to Kai's Corner. To reach out to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to Kai's Corner.
All right, rounding out hour 2 here. We have Big O in the studio. I want to get to the 2 comments here from NorCal. He said both of his accounts are subscribed to Onside, so that the first one is him and the second one is him. He said, if I'm working, I use work stuff. Not at work, I use my personal. Did you get pineapple on your pizza? I don't know if this is going to disappoint you or make you happy, whichever way you're on. I am not a pineapple on pizza kind of guy.
Good for you.
Oh, do you agree with that as well?
I just... My dad loved it. Rest in peace. I always used to make fun of him for that.
I can't.
So I used to say, "How the hell can you do that?" But there are people that swear by it, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Like
the
they
pineapple
swear
ham,
by
the
it.
Hawaiian
They
pizzas.
love it, and to me, it makes no sense, and I want no part of it. None.
I don't swear by it, but I like it.
There you go. See?
But I'm fat, so.
That doesn't matter, Sean.
I like everything. Food.
Yeah, but I like food too. Well, I'm a little picky, but I used to hate that. There's a story that my dad loves to tell me all the time and remind me of. I used to absolutely, and I'm pretty sure I've said it on air before as well, used to absolutely hate anything fish, would not eat seafood. We went to visit our family in Japan, and when we went there, we're there in Fukuoka, Japan, we're with my family, and I would not eat anything fish. I had to be like going into the 6th grade, wouldn't do anything like that. The only thing I ate was chicken teriyaki and rice, and at one point we got to a restaurant, for whatever reason they didn't have it, and I was like, I can't eat here. So my dad took me to a McDonald's in Japan that was near there. We brought it back to the restaurant, and we were pretty much yelled at, like, that is super disrespectful, this, and this. Which, like, of course, like, even though, like, my dad was born in Japan, but he lived he's lived his entire life here. And I remember my grandma and my family were like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys just did that. He likes to, because I was a picky person. And it was embarrassing, because it is disrespectful, but at the time, my dad's like, oh, my little kid who's acting like a shithead is making me go and take him to get this food. And so, shout out to my dad. Love you, Father. But the other thing is MCU news. Rumor is Henry Cavill signed to play Wolverine. I like the casting. Your thoughts? I'm not that far in to like MCU casting, so I'll have to take a look at it myself and kind of look at that, Troy, just because I'm not too into that. But I will look at it. And I'll probably comment on that tomorrow morning just to look at it and see and kind of have some thoughts on that. Oh, we're rounding off here very quickly. What's coming on your show?
We have Jordan McPherson from the Miami Herald. He's going to join us. It is, opening day, so we figured we'd bother Jordan today on opening day to talk a little Miami Marlins. Clay Ferraro is going to join us. We'll have some fun with the Channel 10 Sports anchor. So we'll get into all kinds of local subjects. Today's a fun day, man. We got baseball, basketball, and hockey.
1, 2, 3,
locally.
just like that
so
too.
that is a beautiful thing. It's one of those you rush home to watch a ton of sports today, which is awesome.
Well,
absolutely awesome.
Be careful when you're driving, because the National Weather Service has.
I know. I saw you.
Has announced.
He cut me off today on
the
the way to
rain
work.
all over us.
Yeah,
that's right, Tito. He wants rain when you leave the stadium.
No, it's
not when him and Sean leave the stadium.
Definitely be careful, especially
But
if you're driving in Miami.
Big O cut me off on the way to work today.
It's going to be bad. You cut him off for real?
Yeah, you did.
That's how we're ending that. That's
Where
how
was
we're
that?
ending that.
No, that's awesome. Where was that?
Oh my
Literally
God.
coming into the stadium, I see this just like small little car just jump in front of the middle of the lane as I'm about to make a right. And sure enough, I see Big O wave his hand out like, hey, I'm in the lane here. Sorry.
But I don't have a little car. Are you sure? A Camry's not a little
well,
car.
it was there was a specific license plate that you have, which I'm not going to dox you and air it out, but I know it's your car.
Oh, okay. All right, because Camry's not a little car. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
I'm sorry if I cut off Tito and everybody else that I cut off on my way to work.
It's not crypto bro today. It's crash bro today.
Oh God! Don't wish that upon people. Don't put that in the air, Tito.
Cut off bro today.
Oh my God. Anyways, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to listen out to the roundtable as well as the emails today, and then you can find them when they're tweeted out on the Onside Radio Twitter every single night. You'll be able to listen to all of that. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day and drive safe.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. This is the official home of Inter Miami CF.
Higuain will now take. His strike is a decent one. It's fired into the top right corner. Gonzalo Higuain opens his account for Inter Miami.
OnsideRadio.com. Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
OnsideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Michael Christian.
Among Us, one of the breakout games from 2020, is finally getting a new map. The game that became an almost overnight sensation and had a player base of nearly 500 million people is getting the update many have been waiting for. Initially, Innersloth, the game's developer, had plans for a sequel, but decided to push those back to focus on improving the current game. Today, Innersloth shared that the game will have a completely updated art style with cleaner lines and an easier animation process. Not only that, but they plan on expanding max lobby sizes to 15, and the new map, Airship, finally went live. If you felt like you mastered all the maps in the current game, hop back in and try the new map, Airship. I'm sure you won't know which of your friends is sus.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The Onside Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The Onside Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The Onside Zone with a big O.
All right.
They will step back. That's a tough shot.
Last 9 games, better than 50% from 3, and now Duncan Robinson matches. Robinson going again.
Yeah, they're setting a hard screen. What to do is exactly what he needed, right?
Robinson hit a couple of threes to start and hits again.
Scoring, which is great.
Robinson. He's hit. Harris LeVert is up. Robinson to give Miami the lead. Both teams shooting 42%, and Robinson and the Heat have a 5-point.